Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Monday, the first day of June. Here we go. We're going to continue now with our laws about mixing meat and fish. Remember, it's considered mystically a danger. We don't fully understand why, but we try not to eat meat and fish together. So today's halachas are these. What if you have a pot that's a Fleishig pot? And you washed it out and it's all clean, and so now you want to cook up your gefilte fish for Shabbos in that pot. So according to most poskim, you're allowed to do that. As long as you cleaned out the Fleishig pot and then cooked up the fish in that Fleishig pot, but the pot was clean, then it's going to be considered okay. That's what most poskim hold. You know, you're probably familiar with what we all do at the end of our fish course at the Shabbos meal. If you had your fish with a certain fork, we either wash off that fork before then eating meat, or they actually, either way, you take away the forks from everybody, wash them, and then everyone continues with the next fork for their meat meal. And that's because we don't want to use a utensil that just ate fish to also serve you your meat during that meal. If, let's say, you had a kosher pot and meat and fish were cooked inside of that pot together. Okay, it's a regular, ordinary pot. Let's say it was Fleishig's and kosher, and meat and fish got cooked in that pot together at the same time. So the Pischei Tshuva says that you actually have to kosher that pot. You'd have to speak to a rabbi about the exact koshering procedure, but that's what the Pischei Tshuva says. Sorry to give you an argument, but the Kaf HaChaim says that that's not necessary, and you would just have to wait 24 hours before using that pot again. That's what the Kaf HaChaim says. So one more time, basically in short, if you cooked inside of a pot meat and fish together at the same time, it's an argument between some great rabbis as to whether that pot needs to be koshered or whether you just have to wait 24 hours. If you want to put meat and fish together in a grinder, and also in that grinder are sharp foods like onions or things of the sort, which bring out very strongly the flavor of one to the other, then you're not supposed to do that way. Don't grind your fish and your meat together with onions and everything all at the same time because of this same problem that we've been discussing. Part of a food, let's say a potato kugel. All par of ingredients, but it was cooked in a Fleishig pot. We treat that as Fleishig, so you wouldn't eat that potato kugel together with a glass of milk, but it is still par of, like, you don't have to wait 6 hours after you eat that potato kugel. Can you eat that, again, it's a par of potato kugel, just cooked in a Fleishig pot. Can you eat that together with fish? And the answer is yes, you could. If you want to cut, let's say, an onion to put inside of your gefilte fish cooking, and you want to cut that onion with a Fleishig knife, so the knife is clean and everything, but we feel halachically that when a knife cuts through something sharp, the press of the knife against the sharp food like the onion will bring strongly out the flavor of the Fleishigness out of that knife and into the onion, and therefore some consider it a question as to whether you could use a straight Fleishig knife, clean, but straight Fleishig knife to cut an onion to put in your gefilte fish. Rav Belsky allows it and says it is not a problem. Rav Kanievsky is strict on the problem and says not to do that. And the book that I'm taking these halachas from, which is called Halachically Speaking, he says that the best thing to do is to, if you're going to do that, you cut onions regularly to put in your gefilte fish. Be good to have like a special par of knife for that, so that you won't bump into this question, although Rav Belsky allows it. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.